This car is way too stiff for the road. Holy smokes. This is like race car to the max. This is like an RS cubed in terms of like stiffness. It's pretty bouncy. Pretty bouncy. But hey, this is, oh my God, this is a track car, so. Goodoosh, goodoosh. Not it, oh my God. All right, it's pretty rough. This definitely has rear wheel steer, and I hate it. All right, 992.1 GT3, Manthey Racing. Yep. Quick walk around. Yep. We have a seatbelt up front.
Safety first.
We got corroding center lock wheels, ceramics, Manthey, the dinner plate, the wing. It's for the utes. But
the tubes.
Comfort seats.
We comfy while we're setting.
Oh my God. It's 1,000 degrees. Oh, this is useless.
You ever start with a manual before, boy?
Where's the exhaust button?
Yes.
It doesn't exist?
I think it's just there.
It's just always on?
Yeah, start it up. It's actually pretty quiet.
Central tack. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think it has a valve.
Sounds pretty good.
Rowdy. It's a little rowdy.
Wow. We're in the Birkenstocks. Just a couple of Birkin boys. How many miles are on this? 2,500? 2,500. Just had a hard life. Who sat in this last? A gangster? I'm like at the B-pillar. Say hi to YouTube.
It's not a YouTube.
Say hi to everyone at home. For all your Porsche buying needs, Mr. PTS, Mr. Sundervush, Mr. Custom, making builds great again, Zachary Sweat of Porsche South Shore. We thank him.
Thank you for driving the cars.
Namaste. It's the least I can do.
Thank you.
Someone had to do it.
There's not many people I just throw keys to GT3s and allow them to drive them.
Wow.
There's only a certain select few.
There's one DOS.
And he's here.
One DOS.
One DOS.
Wow. Let's pull out for our friend.
There's a lot going on here. A lot.
Let's do a walk around. Park, 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 park. How do we park the car? Park, park, park. Park. Park is on. Park is on.
Oh, here we go. Wow. Ooh.
How's the build?
Ooh.
Let's see what we got here.
Sheets. Let's take a look. We have 18-way power comfort seats.
210K.
Dude, you got the traffic sign recognition. Very nice option.
Traffic what?
Traffic sign recognition.
Oh, so nice.
Very nice. Oh, you got your footrest in aluminum.
Voluminous.
Dude.
10K PCCB. Front axle lift.
Sure.
You don't need that.
Sure.
Matrix PDL headlights.
Not fully activated for North America.
Bose surround.
I don't know.
Auto dim mirrors and rain sensor. 18-way. I wish I could like wipe the inside of this windshield with like. Is it the exterior? Should I try the wipers? No, it's inside.
It's inside.
Why? Was this a smoker's car? Maybe. Possibly.
These people can't, they don't know how to drive your car. Can you move forward, please? Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
I still need to tighten the plate. Just come up a little bit so she can park. She's a little scared.
I'm just turning the parking brake off.
Brake to deactivate. There you go.
Drive system active. It really yells at you. We'll be right back. All right, 992.1 GT3 auto blip off. Start stop off. Chassis sport. Wow, we can go track. Holy fuck, that would mess us up. Let's go trip, comfort. How do I adjust the air conditioning? All right, great, let's try this out. Let's do How do I do this? How do I do this? Here we go. I'm so dumb. All right, I just want to come from the center right here. That's it. Okay, great. 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 Okay, so this is a manual transmission. We're in the Jesus sandals today. You don't need driver's shoes to drive a manual. All right, we're gonna ESC off. Let's do this. Let's go back. Drive system is active. Turn off ignition. Off. Driver door is open. Close the door. Great. Okay. G-force, tire pressure. That'll be important. Let's go on here. I want a speedometer. I don't know. Let's just do navigation, actually. How do I make it navigate? Change this. I can't change it? Okay, well, all right, tachometer it is. Great, central tach, analog, awesome. All right, guys, shall we? GT3, let's adjust the wheel. And our mirrors, once again, the mirrors. Click the button, go over here, and then go down, over. Right mirror, wow, way too close to the car. All the way out, then a little bit down. Perfect. That is how you do it. Steering wheel, manual, okay? We're gonna go like right here, clank it. Manatino, the Manatino on the GT3 is harder to turn than the other cars. We'll keep it in sport. And yeah, guys, we are ready to go. How's the clutch? Okay, clutch is fine. So far, so good. Is our front axle lift? So far, well damped over these little bumps here. Clutch throws pretty short. We're right on red. Oh no, it's the cops. All right, let's do, I want pressure. How do I get out of this? What does track show me? Tire pressure. Great, love that. You cannot see this dial over here. It says coolant temp, gas, and range. Okay. I don't know what that ding was for, but whatever. The shifter's nice. It just kind of springs right into place. We do like that. It's not harsh on the road, but you bounce around a lot. So you follow the bumps, but it's not jarring so far. Speed limit 30. Alleged. How's the rev match? Auto rev match. Ooh. Not gonna work for me. All right, let's go to turn auto rev match off. So if I do, oh my God, just turn the rev match off. Vehicle, auto blip off. Thank you. Start, stop. Let's try that again. Rear visibility, not that great. Okay, let's try that again. Second. Sounds good in here. That is for sure. Okay. All right, I'm getting used to the car. These has ceramics, are a little touchy right now. Headlights. Low beams on. Okay, auto blip off, drive mode track. I don't know what that means, but here we are. Chassis, soft. Can we just go like normal actually? Let's go sport. Auto blip off. Stop turning that on. Okay. ESC off is gonna be, you can't just click it, you gotta hold it. Okay. Turn that back on. Clutch is easy. What are these? Speed limit. Oh my God. Trip. Comfort. Drive. Ugh. All these warnings are popping up. Assistance. Basic assistance. How do we just turn it off? Morning brake assist. Off. Deactivate. Okay. It's so bumpy right here. Oh my god. Trip. Not it. Oh my god. Alright, it's pretty rough. And we're in comfort mode, so. Okay, let's try this again. Drive. Little tram lining in the front end. I mean, this is a horrible road. So here we have the same bump. Let's see how it takes it. Pretty fucking rough. Alright, let's see what we got here. Downshift. Easy downshift. If you buy a manual, you should be doing your own shifting and rev matching. We'll let this... If there was a cop behind you, you would never know. Because the rearview mirror, all you see is wing. So that's a downside. Alright. Res job pretty fast. Downshift. I feel like it has a lightweight flywheel, honestly. Alright, I should have worn driving shoes. I messed up. I went PASM normal. Okay. We're in sport mode. Got the range. Oil temp, oil pressure. Coolant temp, good. Tire pressure, good. So we should be good to go. I feel like with a lot of these newer Porsches, there's a lot of setup you have to do before you go. My 987 Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Holy shit. My 987 Spider, I turn the key on, PSM off, sport mode on, exhaust on, I go. This car is, for some reason, just a lot's going on here. This feels torquier than the Speedster, slightly. Let's practice our rev matching. Great. How about second gear? Beautiful vistas. Really nice. Good visibility. Steering wheel's good. The sway steering wheel will get matted down over time, but whatever, here we are. Should we go for it? Peak torque. God damn these fucking pumps. Easy to rev match. Brakes are fine. Great torque. Great torque. For the chassis is kind of going around a bit, please don't. Thank you. I don't have... If this has rear wheel steer, I hate it. And I drove a GT3 before where the high speed turns, I felt some lack of confidence. I mean, it turns really nice at speed. Good input, good input, good input. I can't see behind me. I use my rear, I use the left mirror to look all the way behind me because the wing is just in the way. Rev match the third. Rev match the second. want to heel toe it. We're gonna need some room. Which there is none. So, you know, if someone gives you the keys to a Manthey GT3, we're gonna just take it. There's a heel toe. Let's get out in front right here. Okay, a little heel toe. Turn it in. Let's go around the sun. Oh, it feels great. Feels good. Feels a lot better than the GT3. GT Hybrid T, GTS. We're in second. It's busy out, so we can't do too much. Let's go one more around the sun. Push it, push it, push it. Oh, it's got so much. So much, so much. So much. And we'll exit. And it's so busy out. And it's busy. And we're off. Incredible. You know what? I'll hop in here. Heel toe. Brakes are fine, they're not too bad. Let's get down here. Pretty bouncy. Pretty bouncy. But hey, this is, oh my God, this is a track car, so what do you expect? Goodish. Goodish. Let's hop right here. Just make a little U-turn. This definitely has rear wheel steer, and I hate it. Big bump. Damn, I mean, it's a track car, and we're on the street. And for anyone posing out there who wants to pose in a GT3, dude, you're gonna look like, all right, that's interesting. It's uncomfortable. My Spider RS is way more comfortable than this car. Wow, I mean, these are horrible roads, but like, I don't undulate in the Spider RS, so, you know, take it for what it's worth. I think I'm gonna go and do a walk around real quick right here. So let's hop out and parking brake. It's a manual. Parking brake's on. It's a manual. Unlock the car. Grab the key. Don't lock yourself out. Grab the key. Grab the key. Check your rear mirror. Don't die. Ugh. Here's the car. It's pretty extreme. It's pretty like, it's like a crotch rocket with like clip-ons. It's either you're gonna go flat out or you're not doing it, and you want to be on a track. I mean, I'm pretty beat up, honestly, driving it on these roads here. I mean, this isn't a racetrack. This is the public road. You know, it undulates. It's not smooth, but yeah, it's pretty extreme. Honestly, it's pretty harsh. I can use the word harsh for the first time describing a GT3, because before, like, I didn't think they were too harsh. This is a harsh car. If you order this car sight unseen and you were living in a city or even these highways here, a lot of bumps up and down, you're not gonna keep eating this. You could, you're gonna be very uncomfortable. And I'm a person that can take a lot in terms of like practicality, giving up, and compromise. This is one that I really wouldn't want to give up on. It would be a light pass for me. I don't know, you know, I drove a base GT3, non-Manthey, and it was definitely more compliant than this. This is too harsh and stiff. How are the dampers in here? I can't tell if they're different. I'll check with the owner and see if it has different springs and dampers, and if it does, I'll let you know in the description below. But yeah, this car is way too stiff. It just bounces around. The rebound compression is just way too high. The 3RS that I drove before was a lot more compliant than this, so 0 out of 10, would not recommend. 0 out of 10. All right, foot on the brake, pull back. I'll never figure out these parking brakes. Foot on the brake, push forward. Great, we figured it out. Cup holder delete. Okay, hazards. Off, clutch in. Is there launch control on this? I want to do it so bad. Oh. Should we do it? We have to do it. Oh, it's so bumpy. God damn, it's so bumpy. Up. Damn. This car's way too stiff. Way too stiff. Whew. Oh, the compression, the rebound it's just all the way up. I think I'm in the wrong place. Let me ask how to leave. Hello, Clarice. Oh no. Busted. Hi. How do I leave?
And just follow that road like all the way down, basically.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Imagine we just drifted right now. Drift. It's so bumpy. Oh. Get me out. Get me out. If I had a road trip in this car, I would just retire. I would give up. I wouldn't want it. Big bumps. All right, we're driving normally. You don't need auto blip. You don't need it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, no concerns, just questions, let me know in the comment below. This car is way too stiff for the road. Holy smokes. This is like race car to the max. This is like an RS cubed in terms of like stiffness. Now, if a journalist drove the 4RS in a road like this, I could say 100% the car is too stiff. I totally agree. How's our heel toe? Pretty good. Let's hop in. A half moon. Oh yeah, you know what? Oh, there we go. A little understeer. We got it. We got it. Push, push, push. Exit. Traffic. Slow down. Rev match. Cruise. Look cool. 5th gear. 6th gear. Any drone? Let's see. It's a non-valved exhaust, which is honestly surprising to me. I didn't even think Porsche made a GT car with a non-valved exhaust. It's kind of a letdown. I mean, was the sport exhaust an option for this car? Like a valve? I just thought they all came with the, you know, if GT, then you get a valve muffler. How's the drone? It's got a drone. It's got an aftermarket exhaust on it, so we won't be too harsh on it. But this car's way too stiff, guys. Even for like back roads, I think it would be way too stiff. Just the undulations in the road here. It's just after you hit the bump, you have a trailing effect of like a sinusoidal decreasing wave. It's just like, you know, like blah, 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 you know. It's quick to turn. I mean, 100%. Oh yeah. I mean, the turn-in is insane. The response. That is really fucking nice. My Spider RS does not have the front end turn of this car. Is it because of double choke suspension? I don't know, but this is actually very enjoyable to do. Big drop. Big drop, big drop, big drop, big drop. God damn. 6th gear, cruise. Yikes, boys. Don't buy this one sight unseen. All right. Down. Back. Down. I just don't understand how this works. Down, thank you. All right. 0 out of 10, would not recommend a Manthey Racing Kit on your daily driver. Oh my God, this car is way too stiff. How's the manual? Jesus, should we just launch it real quick, honestly? The bump steer is crazy on this car. I just don't have the confidence to drive it at high speed. Oh, like I just feel like I'm gonna hit a bump and the car's gonna turn and then you're getting into it like a tank slapper. So I don't know if the toe links on this car weren't adjusted correctly for perhaps the ride height, but it just feels like there's a ton of bumps here on this car, especially on the highway. It's just like bop, 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 hopping around, and like this is a car I would be terrified to turn PSM full off on in fear of just catching the wrong angle and not having the right counter steer, and then you're just tank slapping it and spinning it out. This is a really track only mod. If you're gonna go commute here from the Nürburgring, sure, but like this is a really either too stiffly sprung, over damped on compression, rebound. It's just a sinusoidal wave that just keeps going. Normally, like when you punch like oobleck, a non-Newtonian fluid, you hit it and then it just stops the object and then it just settles out. That's how a car should almost take a bump. It gets the bump, it resolves it, you move on. You're not dealing with an aftershock of the bump 5 seconds later. This feels like that. Big bump, big drop. It's fast. How about the manual transmission? I mean, it's a nice transmission. Whenever I hop in a manual car, I just drive manual. My brain's not oh, this is the best experience ever. I don't know if the manual was really adding that much to this experience, only because the chassis is just, the suspension is just so stiff. yeah, I'm just like not a fan. I would not, if I was Dickie Mead on a test drive. Oh look, a stop sign. Oh look. The launch isn't that crazy in this car, honestly. I thought there'd be like more wheel spin or something like that, but it's not that harsh on the transmission. Anyways, if I was on eva.co.uk on the annual Car of the Year launch, I would toss the keys away from this thing and I would choose another RS product. A lot of these cars are so good from the factory for the road. That's why I just never understood why people thought that, you know, these RS cars were like too stiff for the road. This car is too stiff for the road, 100%. You know, a normal RS car, it's not that bad. They're really not that bad. I never understood the journalists out there who thought the RS cars from the factory, they were too stiff for the road. So, shifter's fine, no big complaints on it. I don't know how to get rid of this speed limit thing, but, you know, I wish it was just back to base. I wish there was a button that was like, bring me back to 2012 997.2 RSs, where there's just no fluff. I want the shifter, the wheel, and that's it. You know, all these assists, just turn them all off for me. One button, turn it all off. And if I want to get luxurious with it, then let me get back into the driver menu here and start a la carting it back into place. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know how to like press to show. I mean, there's a lot going on here. We're not even in the RS with all the dials. So I would prefer the 3RS over this. It was less stiff than this car. Once again, I would not recommend the Manthey kit if it's going to be on the street. I can see how this will be great on the track. You know, you don't know how soft your car is from the factory until you go to the racetrack. And then you keep hitting PASM, stiff, and it's never stiff enough. It's never stiff enough on the racetrack. So this car, I could definitely see that. We lost the key. You know, I don't know. This car is selling for $210,000. I'd rather have my Spider RS all day over this. The manual is cool. I hate the rear wheel steer. Not a fan of it. I would want it off my car. You don't need auto rev match, once again. PSM off and all that stuff, I never really mess with it. It's not my car, so I'm not gonna be sliding it around like crazy. And honestly, like, to slide a rear engine GT3 is pretty difficult because there's just so much mass back there, and the tires that this car is gonna have are gonna be so sticky, and it can be hard to step it out. Anyways. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching this far. I just want to you know, if you were to test drive this car, I want you to be in the seat here and know what it's like. These are comfort seats. It didn't upset me, but you got to get the buckets. Yeah, and so if you like it, give me a little thumbs up. If you want to, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, boys. All right, as promised, I was going to go and read the questions from Instagram live at the end of the video. First question from It's Nate Elliott. Still street fun or too legit and all hype just for the track? Worth the price tag over a Spider? It is way too stiff for the street, although you could probably turn down the compression and rebound on this car. I definitely don't want to shed on this car too hard because I think that the dampers were just turned way too high. I'm hoping that there is a God out there and you can turn the compression and rebound down on this car. I'm sure you can for $80,000. I do hope. Is it worth the price tag over a Spider? Well, they're about the same price. I personally would rather have a Spider RS for the street than the GT3 MR, only because there's no roof. I feel like my Spider RS was way more fun, way more motorsport, and way more raw with more theater. So even with the manual transmission, I preferred my Spider RS over this GT3 MR. All right, next question. Is it smooth enough or too harsh to use as a normal weekend spirited driving car? It is way too stiff to use as a normal weekend spirited driving car. 100%. I would hate this. I mean, even driving this thing on the highway, it was way too stiff, as you could see in the video. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. All right, next question from Alberto. This or your Spider RS for fun on fast, bendy roads? Is the 97 Spider still the best there? I would rather have the Spider RS than the GT3 MR for fast, fun, bendy roads. Once again, having a convertible just takes a lot of the seriousness out of the drive, because it's like, oh, I'm in a convertible. Like, nothing really matters at this point. Like, there's no trophy here, there's no prize, and having the wind takes some of the seriousness out of the drive. 10 out of 10 would rather Spider RS over the MR all day. All right, next question. We've got, is this better than a stock GT3 RS? Which would you rather have? I would 1000% rather have the stock GT3 RS all day, just because you can adjust the dampers on the 992 3RS on the fly. You can go -4 to +4 on the compression and rebound front and rear of the new 992 GT3 RS. And because of that, you can have really rough roads and turn the dampers all the way down, or you can be on like a Silverstone racetrack and turn the dampers all the way up. You really get the best of all worlds. You'd be an absolute fool to buy a base GT3 and then an $80,000 Manthey kit. You are well into 992 3RS territory for that money. All right, RKB 97.2 says, is the MR package any use for back roads? Once again, in my configuration that I drove this car, it's going to be a hard no from me. I would not use it on the back roads. I would rather jump off a bridge and chew glass. All right, MotoGP Addict says, is it any more fun than the Boxster Spider, and is it any way usable on back roads? Once again, I'm going to say this is not more fun than the Spider. It's nice to be in a GT3. You definitely got some cred there, but it is not more usable on the back roads. It was just way too stiff. I hated this car. This was the one car where I felt like it was way too stiff. I'm trying not to be too mean to Manthey right now, just because maybe the setup was wrong. Maybe the guy who put the suspension on put the dampers all the way up on stiff, and that just kind of wouldn't be fair to the company themselves. Obviously, they make a really good product, but like, as I received the car that day, like, that's what I got to drive, and it was just one of the worst cars I drove on the street. Would you say it is daily-able car? Jacoby Fisher. No, 1000% would not daily. I would once again rather chew glass and jump off a bridge. All right, what do we got here? Zoe Moto, MFG, gorgeous spec. That is all. Yeah, nice spec, silver. Unfortunately, there were no bucket seats in this car. Also, no sport exhaust. Nice car. It's definitely, driving in G3 is really nice. It definitely beats any BMW out there. Trey Rides Bike says, if money was no object, is this what you would get? 100%, this is not what I would get. Definitely not. Would rather the new 3RS over this all day for the same amount of money. But between you and me, if you're driving on the road, I'd rather get a Spider RS. Rhett Gambrell says, worth the extra money over standard? 100%. Not worth the extra money. This is going to be a $80,000 kit installed. So you're running around $70,215 for the kit, and then to have it installed, factor another $10,000. Would not buy this. I mean, you could almost buy a GT4, 981 GT4 for the price of this kit. Would not do that. Black GT4 says, is it as emotionally exciting as a Spider RS/GT4 RS? No, it is not. I have way more fun in the GT4/Spider RS. Those cars are built for theater. They're not built for all-out track time, whatever, but you're going to be having the most fun on the track in those cars. Jack Lane says, is it worth the $40K over standard GT3? Even at that point, still, it is not worth it. Let's see. Which do you prefer, GT3 MR or GT4 RS? Ooh. I'm going to go with the 4RS. I felt like that suspension was way more compliant for the road. It wasn't ruined. The 4RS is way more apt for roads than the track. It's really designed for theater. The manual transmission in this GT3, it didn't sell me on the car. Like I mentioned in the video here, it's just one of those things where like, oh, the car has a manual. I'm going to drive manual. I felt like the car was too serious to have a manual transmission. I don't know if that really makes much sense. Had a lot of power. I wasn't blown away by the manual in the GT3. It wasn't a showstopper. I'm happy it had it to try it out, but I wasn't like tripping over myself to sell my Spider RS and get a manual GT3. All right, what suspension changes are made with the package? Spring rates, how does the aero feel? I probably put a blurb on the screen at some point of like what is changed on this car. You've got like 10% higher on the front axle for the spring rates and 7% lower on the rear. And some other little tweaks here and there. You got the dinner plates, etc. How does the aero feel? The aero feels good. I don't think it's that much crazier over a stock GT3. Let's see how much time. It saved 4.2 seconds on the Nürburgring. Keep in mind this is a 13-mile racetrack, and you saved 4 seconds. So if anything, you could like have less drag to save that 4 seconds there. Not blown away by this kit. Respectfully, Donovan Stoll says, is performance delta enough to make a difference for someone who isn't a professional driver? 100% going to be a no on that one. I felt the performance delta wasn't enough, especially for the $80,000 that this kit cost. That is crazy, man. Okay, we've got Tristan says, difference between GT3 MR and GT3 RS. Obviously, if we're referring to a new 3RS, you have adjustable on-the-fly dampers, compression, rebound, stiffness, LSD, adjustable, yada, 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 at your fingertips on the GT3 RS, as well as, like multi-way traction control and stability control. I'd rather have the new 3RS over this car every day. Gearbox feel compared to a Miata, which has direct/no linkage. I have not driven a Miata in a long time, but the gearbox in this car felt good. I'm going to assume it is the stock gearbox and that Manthey Racing didn't touch it at all. GT3 MR versus 4RS versus Spider RS for the road. Which one sounds better? In terms of noise, I still prefer my Spider RS over everything. You're just going to be top-down experience out in the nature, full theater, full fizz, full thrill. The GT3, now I will admit, the GT3s and the RSs objectively sound better for the exhaust all day, every day, but I wasn't blown away by the intake sounds of this GT3 and the MR. For some reason, the GT3s just get a better sound out of the mufflers than the mid-engine cars. So the GT3s are going to sound better as they rip by you, but you're not the one ripping by. You're not the one sitting on the side of the road listening to the GT3. You're the one in the car, so I would buy what sounds good to you inside the car, unless you like showing off. Bebe says, but why GT3 MR? Well, why not? It was offered to me, and I said I don't want to say no. Another question he says is, what is the purpose of this car? We have normal GT3 3RS and GT3 RS MR. Which is fastest? I'm going to go with the RS is going to be the fastest around the track. Joseph Cohen says, how does it compare to the GT3 RS? Obviously, it's more usable, but is it as capable? I'm going to say the 3RS is probably the most capable car. I recently just drove it on some back roads around where I live. It was so compliant. It didn't beat me up. It was such a great car, very smooth. You'd be, again, a fool to take a $80,000 kit on top of a $200,000 GT3 over a brand new 3RS.
Bijan says, no question only hearts. Thank you. Appreciate the support. Le Petit Garage says, will this prove how hardcore I am? Yes, it will prove how hardcore you are. If you own one of these cars, you are definitely a hardcore mother effer. I want nothing to do with this car on the street. He also says, how many cars and coffees will I win? You probably will win them all, but you will win a back surgery appointment at some point in your near future. Colby Kranak says, how flat is the cornering? Can you have fun with it on the road, or is it just a pure track toy? I'm going to go with pure track toy just because, once again, the suspension was just so stiff. It was very compromised. This was a compromised suspension. And I wanted to say, unless you transported this car magically to the front line of Silverstone and you drove it on Silverstone or an F1 track and then it was transported back home, I wouldn't want anything else to do with this car. Nico says, any other MR Porsches you'd like to drive? Sure. There's a new 3RS I'd like to drive, but I'm not really kicking myself over driving that. I think it's too extreme. I mean, how can I push that car on back roads and really get a feel for it? The stock is plenty great. I really want to drive home that these RS cars from the factory are great for the street. There's no issues with them. People who say they're too stiff, I don't know what car you're driving, but I've driven a lot of quote-unquote race car suspensions where the whole thing is rose jointed, and like the RS cars are very compliant for the street. Fred Flancerda says, how much different is it from a Spider RS? Worth the extra cash? It's going to be around an $80,000 difference over a Spider RS. I'm comparing new to new. It is not worth the extra cash, in my opinion. How much different is it? Well, the GT3 MR is going to have a manual. This one's got a manual. It's rear engine. The Spider RS is mid-engine, PDK, open top. I mean, like, the Spider RS is just like full fizz Nirvana. Like, just, we are here for fun and fun only. We don't care about lap times. We're just here for maximum enjoyment. And since we're not racing for money, that's what I'm all about. Do Work Exotic says 97.2 is still the best value for experience. Prove me wrong. Yep, I'm definitely going to agree with that. Great value. Great value. Yeah, getting a 97.2 Spider and then putting like $15,000 or $10,000 into the suspension and some power mods, you're going to be like cruising USA with that. Maybe you'll all be on for 80, 90,000 and you're going to have an incredible car. Ask me how I know. Benny Mandingo says, how long into the review until you say this car is okay, but my Spider is the best car ever? Well, I don't know. Maybe it was 28 minutes at some point. The Spider RS is such a phenomenal car. I love it. Very few comes close for the value. Sorosi says, difference between this and a non-MR GT3. I put on the video here a screenshot of everything. You get a large spoiler lip. Side flaps are fitted at the front of the car in conjunction with a modified air guide elements on the underbody. They increase downforce on the front axle. Modifications at the rear are even more pronounced. The swan neck support of the Wing GT3 is wider and now features a tear-off edge gurney flap. End plates have the Manthey logo. Fins in the rear diffuser have been extended and are now made of carbon fiber. Aero disc on the rear wheels, which are also made of carbon fiber. Aerodynamic efficiency. Let's see, we got 4-way coilover suspension for the GT3 that can be adapted for use on the circuit. The suspension struts can be adjusted to 4 positions, and rebound and compression can be tweaked without tools. Interesting. I don't know how you're going to tweak it. The moderate change to the spring rates, 10% higher on the front axle, 7% lower on the rear, contributed to improved on-limit handling without making any compromise necessary when it comes to day-to-day usability. That is crazy. That is a crazy claim. Dude, no. This was an extremely compromised suspension. All right, next question. Core difference between a 992 MR and a non-MR. We already answered that one. Jake Trella says, is it JB-able? Technically, yes. Everything is JBable. I wouldn't enjoy driving it there, though. Melzop7 says, is it more fun than your spiders? That's going to be a no from me, dog. Going to be a no from me. Jake also says, how do I buy one? Well, that certainly going to require $200,000 for a base GT3 and then $80,000 parts and labor for the kit. So all you need are some cash dollars to buy it. Let's go to some other questions we have on the actual post from my story. Then we'll wrap this up. How much is it? It's $80,000. I didn't care about anything about this car, but do you track days with any of your Porsches? I try to go like once a year to a track, but went to the Nürburgring. It was a great time. Have a video on that somewhere. BW Lambrecht says manual GT3 or auto 4RS. That's going to be auto 4RS. Manual GT3 non-Manthey could be that could be close. It could be close. How composed in the rear end of the MR on backwards compared to the Spider RS? I didn't really have a chance to drive this car too hard on the turn. You saw probably in this video, there was a huge roundabout. I was pushing it, to the point where, lift off, oversteer a tiny bit in some spots, kind of gauging the understeer as well and the weight transfer. GT3s, objectively, they put down power. Like, you hit the gas, like, they're not going to slide around. They are not going to rotate on you that hard, especially if you're progressive on the throttle. GT3s just stick. They do not really come out. There's just so much weight in the rear on a GT3 that they do not want to have the rear end come around. So it is incredibly confidence inspiring. However, when she goes, she goes. Aspirated naturally says probably a given, but how visceral is the driving experience compared to your stock Spider RS? Not as visceral. The Spider RS was way more visceral, way more motorsport. The gurgling, the sounds, the transmission, it just sounded like a really amazing motorsport experience, my Spider RS, compared to this MR here. BMX5, how do you compare the engagement factor, especially to the last of old/new school 987 Spiders? Obviously, there's no 9K limiter, but does it make the 997 feel lesser of a car? I still prefer 997 Spider over this car. I mean, the GT3 is a celebration of engineering in Porsche. You can't go wrong with it. However, for back road use only, I do prefer the 987 Spider because it's more usable. I felt like it was more compliant as well. I really enjoyed the car, and I could not wait to hop back into my 987 Spider compared to this MR here. Dr. Aldropouts. This thing is manual. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it was a nice car, nice transmission, but it didn't blow me away. This is not one of those cars where you're waiting outside of Best Buy the night before on Black Friday to place an order for one. I'm glad I drove a manual GT3 finally, a new one, and it was nice. It just didn't blow me away. Danny Shayed, gearing, handling, fun factor compared to a GT4/PDK. Gearing was fine. Handling was incredible other than it being too stiff. Fun factor compared to GT4. You can ring out a GT4 a lot better than this car. So for what it's worth, you just won't go as fast in GT4, which is also a good thing. This guy asked, how big of a drift can you do? Probably pretty big. You want cold tires, ESCTC off, and just give her the old punch-a-rooney. ZK Trectro. How would you compare the feeling through the chassis between this, your RS, and 987.2? I mean, in terms of how the car communicates through turns. Also, if money was no object, what do you think is the most fun and enjoyable to drive spiritedly? Okay, so the feeling, the front end was the best on this MR compared to my RS all day. My 97.2 Spider has a better turn-in than my Spider RS just because of the suspension that I have on that car. So this MR communicates incredible through the turns. I'm going to say it has probably the best communication of all three. If money was no object, do you think which one is the most enjoyable, fun to drive spiritedly? I'm going to go with the Spider RS, probably. That's a celebration of engineering. Also, the 97.2 Spider, once again, that's just a way more usable car. You can extract all the performance out of that car and just have fun with it. And you're not going crazy speed. So, all right, guys, that wraps up. If you want to have questions for the next video, please consider subscribing to the channel on my Instagram, and we'll see you next time.